humans, this is an adoption campaign, but it's not for me or Mr. Buttons or Frank over there. It's for you, humans. This is a call to humans to adopt our movement, to adopt our cause.
This isn't just about saving one of us.
It's about saving all of us.
Thousands of lives, every single day.
It's about support for every one of us four, and sometimes not four-legged best friends, waiting to meet a best friend of our own. With Best Friends Animal Society leading the charge.
Shelter by shelter, city by city.
We can save thousands of pets each day. Join us. Together we can save them all.
Thank you for joining us for Pet Connect. I'm Tara Douglas. Make sure to join us this weekend at the Sylacauga Animal Shelter. We have our time back to our normal dog walking time, 11 to 1, so make sure to pay attention to that. And we're not doing our earlier morning time for summer, so it's 11 o'clock again. You can come out and walk the dogs, you can come out and visit the cats, you can come and help socialize some of the puppies. So we've got a little something for everybody. So please come out and join us, and you'll be able to meet our pet of the week. So our pet of the week is Tiger, and she is a puppy that was born at the shelter, so she's available with all of her litter mates. And she and all the rest of the puppies, just they love to have people come in and walk them and hang out with them. Tiger's been fortunate enough to have the Jennings family fall in love with her, so every weekend when they come and walk dogs, they get some of those puppies out, and they've been able to take her for a doggy day out. So don't forget that that's available also, and that helps socialize a lot of the dogs at the shelter. So if you are looking for a puppy, then Tiger or any of her litter mates will be available, and come on out this weekend to meet her. And then also, don't forget, this weekend we have our spay and neuter voucher sale. So that's going to be at PetSense, and those are the $30 vouchers, and that's for male or female cat, male or female dog. And we'll be there at 9 a.m., and we're only there until we run out. So make sure you have cash or check, and it's for Talladega and Coosa County residents. And that's put on by the Feral Dogs of Avondale Mill. So if you have questions, please contact us directly at Feral Dogs. And that is through Facebook. You can also email us at theferaldogsofavondalemill@gmail.com. Just make sure you don't bother PetSense, because they're gracious enough to let us have it there, but they don't have the answers, so let's not clog up their phone lines. And also the shelter's short-staffed, and they are not. They may not have all the answers either. So please just contact the Feral Dogs directly, or if you know any of us, the people that volunteer, or any of us on the board at Feral Dogs, please contact us directly. But we're so fortunate today to have our special guest here. We have Shania Abrams. Shania has worked at Alabama Spay and Neuter, where these vouchers are available, and she also fosters kittens. And we're going to get to talk about this wonderful food truck she now owns, and see her journey from taking care of animals, which you still do, to taking care of people. So Shania, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Of course.
So tell us, I have a lot of questions that people ask me about Alabama Spay and Neuter, and you can give us some good answers about that. So let's talk about that, since our voucher sale is coming up.
Yeah, so I worked at Alabama Spay and Neuter probably from the end of 2018 till the end of 2021. I was a veterinarian technician there. I spent most of my time in school doing my boards and my clinicals and getting things done for school. And most of the time I was responsible for sedating any animal that came through, and, you know, kind of coming up with the drug logs and being responsible there.
Okay, since I've been a part of Feral Dogs of Avondale, and I've seen all these vouchers and seen the work there, it's amazing the mission of Alabama Spay and Neuter. And it's also, we were just talking out before we came into the studio, talking about how Alabama Spay and Neuter is a well-oiled machine. I mean, to be able to fix that many dogs and cats, it's fascinating what a good job they do. So let's talk about their system and how everything works there.
So they have an amazing system, and they have an amazing staff as well. They try to keep everything as organized as possible. Like you said, it's a very well-oiled machine. So while I was there, we were able to hit 100,000 in animals spays and neuters.
That's amazing.
And I mean, it still feels like as much as we did, we barely made a dent. So a lot of those processes, you know, the animals would come in from intake. We had animals coming from Chilton County, Shelby County, Talladega County, all over the surrounding 16 counties that they serve.
Okay.
They also had ferals coming in at that time. And so a lot of the times they would come in, get your animal from transport. We would take them through an intake system. We would go over their questions. You know, sometimes they get blood work. Sometimes they, like, sorry, I tripped. Sometimes they come in and we have to do their paperwork and get them, you know, just down the line.
And so every animal that comes through has to have a rabies.
Yes, every animal
So-
that come through has to have rabies
So
vaccine.
keep that in mind with the voucher sale. If you don't have proof of rabies from your vet, then you will have to pay to have one at Alabama Spay and Neuter. And then also the older animals have to have the blood work.
Yes, the
typically.
older animals, if they're over 8 years old, we would
Okay.
prefer that they have blood work.
Okay.
And a lot of animals that maybe have a history of maybe a car accident or stuff like that, we would like for them to have paperwork too, so we can perform that surgery as safely as possible. A lot of the times with the spays, we try to do 6-minute spays.
Okay.
So a lot of the times we're trying to get things done as fast as possible, but as safely as possible.
Absolutely, because I've had people ask me, is it safe to use Alabama Spay and Neuter? Of course it is. They have such a wonderful staff, and as Shania is saying, they have you have a lot of people that work there.
Yeah, a lot
so
of
they're
people that
able,
work there. We have 4 DVMs just by themselves, and then other staff, we have 10 to 12 support staff. You're going to have 2 technicians that are licensed and board certified to be able to do those things, sedate these animals. You're going to have, like I said, the male cats and the female cats that have come in, we take them through a process too. Their surgeries are usually from the females around 2 to 3 minutes, and for the males around a minute to 60 seconds.
And it's not something that people need to worry about with how fast you can do it, because that's what
Exactly.
y'all do all day long at Alabama
Exactly.
Spay and Neuter. So, you know, I'll often tell people that we've never had an issue with the spay and neuter at Alabama Spay and Neuter.
Yes, out of all those 100,000 surgeries, I mean, we had 2.
that,
Two, yeah.
And things happen,
Yes,
unfortunately.
and things happen, unfortunately, yeah. In the medical field, there's a risk for everything. But out of that, those were the statistics for those numbers, and I think that is amazing.
And so, you know, the key thing to remember is it's a very safe and very efficient to have your animal go to Alabama Spay and Neuter. So you should never worry about that,
Yes.
because and it is wonderful how organized they are.
Yes.
And you drop
And
off
they
your
care
animal.
so
yeah.
much. I mean, I've had animals that I would take from there that would stop eating, and people would bring them back, and I would take them to my house personally, and I would keep up these animals for a week or two, however long I needed. It would be people from Sylacauga that couldn't afford to get their animal on transport, and I would already be going for work, so I would meet them at like 6 o'clock and just haul them up there and haul them back. And so a lot of times they're gonna do the best that they can to get that animal fixed for you. They have a lot of programs, you know, for assistance with SNAP and WIC and a lot of those programs. So they really do try their best.
And they just listed a new program on Facebook that I saw for people
Yes.
that are on assistance, where it's $25.
Yes.
So there are different things. You can look on their Facebook page, or you can call Alabama Spay and Neuter or email them and get information about that. But we're just very fortunate to have that resource in this
resource.
area. And,
Absolutely.
And even though 100,000 animals fixed, it seems like a lot, and you would think that it would make a dent, and it hasn't. I always think, what would it be like if those 100,000 had not been fixed?
Had not been fixed.
So
exactly.
So there's always hope, and there's always that need to get your animals fixed. So that is the big thing: is please spay and neuter your pets. And if you have any questions, just contact us, because like I said, I'm glad you were able to come on and talk a little bit about Alabama Spay and Neuter,
absolutely.
because that is such a lovely organization.
Yeah.
And again, we're so fortunate to have that ability to help people with that spay and neuter cost.
Yes.
So that maybe we can limit the number of dogs and cats we have, at least roaming around Sylacauga, but roaming around this portion of Alabama for sure.
For sure.
Now, you foster also. So you
Yes.
talked about helping out with dogs and cats that had come in to get fixed and
Yes.
transporting for people around here, but you're a cat foster.
I am a cat foster. I love cats. I adore cats. I kind of got into cat fostering around 2021 as well. When I left ASN, I went to work for a mobile vet clinic, and that mobile vet clinic also worked with rescues. And so a lot of the times when we would go on those rescue projects, a lot lot of these kittens would be too small. And so I would want them to continue to be fixed, because if you release those animals, you never know if you're going to be able to trap them again. So I would always just take those animals in, and I'm what I would call a foster fail. So I always have an animal, and I always end up keeping it or trying to adopt it to where I can check on those animals in the future. Fostering is a great program. Like I said, a lot of those animals, even if you most of the time a foster will work out something with you. If you say that, hey, I just want to keep this animal for 6 weeks, and until you find in a program, they'll keep for 6 weeks. Hey, I just want to provide food for this animal. You can do anything to get into rescuing.
And there's so many foster opportunities through Feral Dogs of Avondale, foster opportunities through the Sylacauga Animal Shelter. And we always need help. So if you're ever interested in fostering, then you don't have to be a foster fail. I've been a foster fail too. But there are resources out there. And when you foster for the shelter of feral dogs, we provide all of the supplies. So you just need the love and the space, and that's all you have to have. But we appreciate all the fostering you've done, and everything you've done just kind of on your own, trying to find animals.
Trying to find animals.
Now, let's talk real quick before we go about you morphing into, like I said, taking care of animals to taking care of people.
Yes.
All I hear about is your food truck and your wonderful potatoes. So let's talk about the name of your company and what you do and where you're going to be next.
So I started Chi-Tato as well at the end of 2024. I was I wouldn't call getting burnt out, but I wanted to kind of not have what they would call compassion fatigue. And so I was like, okay, I need to, kind of like you said, take care of humans in some aspects. So I started my food truck, and we serve loaded baked potatoes. We serve different kind of loaded gourmet baked potatoes. We have a steak baked potato, a pulled pork baked potato, chicken potato. I mean, anything that you could probably imagine that I can get these potatoes. And I mean, it has just flourished and went crazy. I mean, it's done more than I could ever imagine.
I've heard so much about people talk about you all the time. So.
Yes, I'm so grateful. I try to come out at least 3 days a week. I try to come out into different events in the community, and I try to do as much catering and different things like I can to help.
So it has been wonderful for you then.
Yes,
it's a good change. Even though you're still fostering kittens right now.
Yes, I am.
You can still focus on your business as well. Well, that's wonderful. Where are you going to be next? So
actually this Thursday I will be at Avondale Avenue at Ronnie's Produce. It's at 406 Avondale Avenue in Sylacauga, Alabama. I'm going to be there most likely from 1:30 to 4, and
Great. And I know we've got a lot of fall events coming up.
Yes, we have a lot of fall events.
Hopefully we'll see you at all those.
Yes, I will be at some of those events.
Great, because we have a lot of events. You'll make sure to check in with Pet Connect each week, because we have all kinds of events that are involving animal rescue coming up over the next couple of months. And we hope to see you around town plenty, because we appreciate you in so many ways. So thank you for fostering. Thank you for providing those wonderful potatoes for everybody in the community, so nobody has to be hungry and wishing they had one. And thanks for coming on the show. We'll have you back on sometime soon, and you can talk some more about fostering, because like I said, we always need fosters.
We do always need fosters.
And we always need dog walkers. So come out this Saturday, meet Tiger, and meet all the other dogs that are available at the shelter. We would love to have you. 11 to 1, Sylacauga Animal Shelter. And definitely get your vouchers at PetSense. We'll be there at 9 a.m. till we run out. So come on early, get in line, and get those vouchers. And thank you so much for joining us for Pet Connect. We'll have more Daybreak after these messages.